Fashion, not an obvious subject for academic study, but at St Paul's Catholic College, Fashion Week offers a wealth of cross-curricular opportunities. And the climax, a catwalk fashion show.
31236. Word, that's quite a lot of money. That's good.
They're actually measuring and using averages, okay? So they're thinking about what shapes they need to make hats and sunglasses out of. They need to, in the first lesson we did some measuring. They took some averages of the average size head of a year 7 so that they can fit anyone. And they're putting them all together in their team colours so that they can show them off at Friday's fashion show.
While I was at school, I was really interested in geometry, which basically, obviously, is pattern work. And I didn't realise until I started to do pattern work how similar it was. Basically, a man or a woman is basically a three-dimensional shape. So once you can cut a pattern of a cube, you're just changing that into more of a complex pattern. And it's funny that now I use geometry all the time in my life.
You are part of a very select group who've chosen to have a go at some crocheting. We're going to have a look at how it's linked to maths. We're going to try and have a go at doing some crocheting. You can see a shape on there. Now that's crocheted. What does it look like? Hands up, what do you think it looks like? Go on, Emily. Coral, yes, it looks like coral. We've got lots of pictures of coral. All of this is crocheted. This is something that's called hyperbolic space, okay? And that means it can't be flattened out and it's all crinkly. And the only way that we can make hyperbolic space is by crocheting.
I'm going to give this to my nan for her birthday. It's her birthday in a couple of months. It's pretty good, actually.
I think all of the kids that had a go at crocheting came away having learnt something new, and we're trying to instil in them a sense of wanting to learn. So that in itself has been a success. I think they really enjoyed it, and they really enjoyed, I think, just even putting the idea in their head that stuff can be linked, that crafts can be linked to maths, which can be linked to other things. I think even that was sort of good enough.
In crocheting, it's like the hyperbolic space, and it's amazing how crocheting is the only thing that you can't lay flat totally, and I think that's really, fantastic.
I think the most surprising thing has been in maths doing the earrings, because I would have thought that would have been more like making hats and measuring the area of them and putting them on. So I'm quite pleased with the earrings.
I think it's special because it's off curriculum and it's learning about what we need to learn for life.
About 3% of our household waste is textile. So what our plan was to do some designs, reuse some fabrics, recreate something amazing for Fashion Week.
In technology, pupils are designing outfits for the catwalk.
We're making this T-shirt, and we're going to sew that bit onto there. So it's like a logo. And then we're going to sew this grey onto the white. So we're changing clothes and using old things, and we're making a new thing out of them so they don't go to waste. Yeah. And then we're going to extend the sleeves with the legs of these jeans.
We're making newspaper shoes. I'm trying to make a hat, but it's not going very well because the socks are very thin and worn.
We don't usually do this sort of thing at school, and so it's really fun. I'm really excited for each lesson.
The idea is that they're working in teams and they're problem solving in a sort of a context that's not as restrained as the curriculum. So they're just getting on with it. They're really inspired, and I haven't really had to prompt them too much. They've just been going for it and bringing bits and pieces in and being very resourceful. I want them to have a really memorable day, or memorable week really, the Fashion Week, and say that they've been able to work with students that perhaps they hadn't normally, spoken to, and they really enjoyed their technology lessons, and hopefully they may see that they would do that at Key Stage 4. Right, Bertie, talk us through your design.
Sewing took too long, so I just stapled it.
You've gone for a faster option there, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, is your model likely to have their hair tangled up there, or...?
I'm not sure.
Let's have a look. That's cool. You assure me you've washed them first, yeah?
We have put a feather onto the hat
and had it nicely padding so it's easy and very nicely to put on. And with this you can also, if you don't want to wear it,
Nice.
you can take it off.
Our shoes are outside.
Shoes are outside. Okay, painted shoes. Oh, they're very bright, aren't they?
Yeah, they're luminous.
So all these ties were acquired from your dad, yeah? And he knows about this?
Yeah.
Good, that's really good. Have you been stitching all of those in place then?
Yeah, I'm just doing it roughly because then I'm going to stitch it properly up.
I can see you going on to great things in the future with this. It's fantastic. Well done.
The designers here have a wonderful job because they're allowed complete creative freedom from research, which takes them to libraries, to shops, to museums, to galleries. Perhaps some research ideas that they've got from the library in terms of older techniques that we could use again and, recreate for modern brands.
Sketching a design for a ruff in Albert.
It's English again. Having researched Elizabethan fashion, students are designing their own ruffs.
So this is a very pointed design, isn't it? It is a bit like a peacock's tail. But you could, if you think you're going to cut it like that, you could have it rounded, you could put circles in, or you could just round the top and then colour it. But to be honest with you, it's your design, and it's sort of an interpretation of Elizabethan fashion.
We either have the 007 theme with or a Big Brother.
Interesting take.
The Big Brother's going to be like a big eye, and maybe
interesting.
he's watching you or something. Yeah, and then James Bond, there might be two kind of guns kissing.
I was a bit concerned when they first started talking about their ideas that maybe we were moving too far away from the original theme that we started with. But I actually think that that's what made it exciting, was that they probably had been influenced by other ideas in other subjects that they've done this week on fashion, and they were probably bringing a lot of their thoughts and ideas from the other subjects into my subject.
These are my recycled plastic bottle trousers. That is what they are made out of. I know you're looking at them going, not, but yet I bought these and they are made out 100% recycled plastic bottles, and I love the idea of that.
In RE, students are looking at ethics in fashion. They've each brought in a favourite piece of clothing.
I'm not sure what it's made out of. It's definitely not recycled at all.
Ellen at the back there, when we talked about her item of clothing, she kind of wanted to know about the sequins on her top and where they got the sequins from. And my question to her is also about, well, how did they get that on? Was it a machine, or has someone sat and stitched those things on? That leads us into child labour. From the individual lesson, I'd hope that they take away the idea that when they're buying their clothing, they might think about where they're getting it from, or even make it a step back. I know I'm not going to change the world with how they do things, but even if it is simple things like kind of buying even a fair trade item of food or anything like that, so thinking about where things come from.
The Fashion Week's been really fun. I like making and designing all the different clothes and accessories.
I've most enjoyed when we, in tech, when we were changing our clothes, when we were bringing in some clothes that we weren't using anymore, and we made lots of clothes into one suit thing, and we're showing that we need to recycle stuff.
Why might we use different materials for different clothes? Yes.
We went swimming and we went, and the swimming costume was made of wool. It would be very heavy and we'd probably drown.
OK, so let's imagine if we're using them for example, oven gloves, would I want something that sets a fire very, very quickly? Is that a sensible plan? Not really, is it? If I'm putting my oven gloves into an oven that's very, very hot and might have a flame at the back if it's a gas one, I don't want oven gloves that are going to burn in seconds, do I? I want nice, safe oven gloves that don't set lights. I want you to record how long it takes for different materials to burn.
Awesome.
Is it meant to be? Wow.
Take it out, Frank. Onto here. No, put it down, put it down, put it down. close up at the denim. It's like white and blue checked.
It's been better in the actual science. It's better than writing things down and stuff like that. It's just seeing what clothes are actually really like.
On a day-to-day basis, they probably have no idea why their shirts are made of different materials to their jumpers. And they've just, if you ask them, I'm sure they'd work it out, but actually they've probably never even really thought about it. So it's good to make them think about how does denim burn differently to this? You know, what would happen if actually my clothes caught fire, and show them nylon burning, because it's very, very quick and actually quite scary that it suddenly turns into a liquid. It's really nice to know that they're going to go off and they're going to be thinking about what I've taught them, sitting in the hall watching a fashion show, and what we've just done is going to be going through their head.
It's the day of the fashion show. Clothes, accessories and even the catwalk music have all been created by Year 7. But it's not only the students that gain from the week.
It gives us the chance of maybe to teach something that we're quite passionate about or that we have an interest in, but putting our own understanding and our own subject onto a different twist. But also it makes it interesting for them, but actually teachers get quite enthusiastic about teaching it themselves.
I hope they've realised that there are links in the curriculum. I hope they've realised that fashion, as long with everything else, covers every area that they do, and I hope that they're smiling and they've enjoyed themselves.
I've had a really good week. I thought it was going to be much worse, but it's so much better than I thought it would be.
I thought it was great fun doing all the making, and it'll be quite good to have it again. I've really enjoyed this week. I love making all the different clothes and accessories.
I think fashion is much wider than people think it is, and I do enjoy it much more, and I do think it has a sense to it.
It's made me think about how fashion is linked more to other things, not just wearing clothes and walking down a catwalk and things like that.
I'm feeling really proud of them. I think they've done some amazing things in music. Some of the things they've created in tech and art and maths are just fantastic. So we've got some really talented kids. I'm really, really proud of them.
Does it look okay?
By the level of or the standard of what the students did and what they produced. It was absolutely fantastic.
It was really, really good. The music and all the clothes and accessories were really amazing.